And welcome to the Dodgers Nation postgame show. My name is Doug McCain. Go ahead and follow me over at DMAC_LA on Twitter. Big game for the Dodgers. They get that series finale win in New York. Their record improves to 97-54. They come back for the 44th time this season. Dodgers get it done. Smash that like, mash that like button, mash those hearts for Jed Jerko. Scores that run tonight, gives him the go-ahead run there. Jed Jerko, a lot of people scratch their head. Who is Jed Jerko? What is he going to do for the Dodgers? What is Kolarek going to do for the Dodgers? All came up big. And how about Kenley Jansen? Probably his best inning of baseball in quite some time. He goes in there in the eighth. He holds them. Dodgers go ahead in the ninth. Dodgers now 20.5 games up in the division. And we're going to break it all down here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show. But you know how we do it. Get those comments in. Give me all your Dodger takes. Who do you guys? Mash that heart button. Be sure to retweet and like on Facebook. But we are going to get right into it. But hey, another great day. Dodgers get the win. Felt like a playoff-like atmosphere. You know they were clinging on to their playoff lives. The New York Mets. Dodgers go in there. They take 2 of 3 against the Mets. The Dodgers have owned the Mets of late. The Dodgers' longest winning streak by a visiting team at Citi Field was 8 before that loss the loss yesterday. It was actually 9. It was 9, and then they lost yesterday. So started a new streak today. Dodgers get the win, 97-54. That's the record. But let's get rapid fire. Get those Dodger takes in there. How about Sam Schnurr? Let's go Dodgers, PYKS. Always represent out in the comments. By the way, I don't know if I've mentioned yet, but you know how we get down here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show. Throw your zip code in there. Throw your city in there. I got a big bag of shout-outs. I'm going to throw them at you guys. We got Michael Bell and Shears, Pat Mattson, finally a clean inning by Kenley Jansen. It was a long time coming. Kenley Jansen had a clean inning in Atlanta a couple weeks ago, but it was the velocity, the speed, the confidence, and the poise. That looked like a different Kenley Jansen that we've seen in recent months, where he just had that feel about him, that demeanor where it's like, hey, I am the Kenley Jansen that gets $18 million a year. I am the closer of this generation and one of the best closers to do it in the last decade. And Kenley Jansen looks like he may have something to build upon after that inning. So Kenley Jansen tonight, he goes Kenley Jansen goes a full inning, 1 strikeout, no walks, 10 pitches for Kenley Jansen, 8 for strike. So very encouraging development for Dodger fans to see Kenley perform the way he did tonight. Ray Barsimian just checking in. Doug, best baseball show on the net. Big victory tonight. Hey, what up, Ray? How you doing, my man? Always representing the comments, a VIP member of the Dodgers Nation postgame show. Credit to the bullpen. You have a great night. The bullpen definitely did their thing. The bullpen tonight really was strong. They had 15 straight retired before Cano got that single off May, and the bullpen they did. Kenta Maeda, he walks the first guy, was not throwing strikes coming in there. But the bullpen, Pedro Baez, 1 inning, 1 inning, no hits, no earned runs for Pedro Baez, 15 pitches, 13 strikes. Dustin May, a nice showing for Dustin May. Did give up that hit, but 2 big strikeouts for Dustin May. Also starting to find that zone a little better. 18 total pitches, 13 for strikes. You know his stuff is lights out, 98-mile-per-hour sinker, but he was working that cutter in the zone today, which was big. And then Kolarek, you see what he's going to do. He's going to be that specialist coming out there. And then Kenta Maeda, 2/3 of an inning tonight, a walk and a big strikeout to end it for the Dodgers. Only 12 pitches for Kenta, but 5 balls, 7 strikes. So you're right, Dodgers bullpen got it done. Woohoo! From Chris, we got Will Pride. Great game. Good job, Dodgers. Pat Lieberman, good game. Jerko in the pen. Yeah, give a lot of credit to Jed Jerko. Wasn't a walk-off. Real FRG says if he hits a walk-off, is it a jerk-off? Wasn't a walk-off, but it was very close to being it was a game winner. It was a game-winning hit when you think about it for Jed Jerko, who tonight, Jed Jerko, you're looking at, just goes in there, gets that hit, gets that walk, and he's a guy that, hey, it shows the depth of this Dodger team. It shows the depth when you got a guy coming cold off the bench, and Jed Jerko can get you a hit. And then Chris Taylor, give Chris Taylor a lot of credit. He's hitting .333 with runners in scoring position. But here we go. Back to you guys, rapid fire. Get those comments in here. Jay Carter, give it up for the boys in blue, tuning in from the 310. We got a little worried about Max. Max Muncy, tonight, 1 for 5 for Max Muncy. I like when he beat that shift though. I like when Max Muncy beat that shift. He was just like shut up shift in the top of the 4th inning, and he cranked that double. But look, the problem with the Dodgers tonight, of course, runners in scoring position. Until they did it late, they had issues getting guys home, and that's the thing. This Dodger team, you know how they face. I was paying close attention. How is this team going to fare against high velocity pitching? Zach Wheeler, he had their number for the most part in this game. DeGrom yesterday. They did get to Syndergaard. They got 4 runs off of Syndergaard, but that is something that we've seen in this run of the Dodgers is sometimes they have issues with high-velocity pitching, but they were able to get the win. They were able to bring it home, and the Dodgers, they win the series against a desperate Mets team, and then they win both series on the road. So, look, since the Yankees series, Dodgers are now 12-11, and it's important they start building that momentum as we inch closer and closer to the postseason. 11 games away, guys. It is coming. The postseason is upon us very shortly here. Get ready. It is going to be super lit, as the kids say. Big games coming up. Back to the comments, though. Real nail biter from Pat Lieberman. Coley, what's the magic number for home field advantage in the World Series? Gonna have to check on that one. That's gonna be like it's got to be like way up there. But Roxanne Holloway from the 90036, Aaron from Las Vegas, Elisa from San Pedro. Sam, these games are going to give me heart problems. Hey, you and I both, kid. I'm telling you, these games, high intensity, but that's why you love it. Pins and needles, playoff baseball. There is nothing like it. It is not for the faint of heart. Okay. If you want something relaxing, go watch the ocean. Go sit by the beach and watch the ocean waves, because playoff baseball, it is nerve-wrecking, it is intense, there's ups and downs, but that is why we love Major League Baseball. David Dalton says, Kenley looked great, last 6 batters he faced, I've all gone exactly. Panda, Jed Jerko, Clutch, Will Pride, yes, you are right, 11 games away. Maeda, we have to get ready. And you bring up the number 11. To me, that's the magic number. 11 wins in the postseason. Charles Hamill, Ryu looked better yesterday. I think his issue may be a catcher thing, maybe Martin Barnes for catching him. So that is a very sensitive subject for a lot of people. A lot of people, look, it was originally presented by David Vassay. He does another postgame show, not as lit as ours, because ours has you guys. And he presented the idea that, yes, maybe he doesn't have the chemistry that they have with Austin Barnes and Russell Martin, and the analytics tend to back that up. But that's not the best statistic to gauge effectiveness for catchers. Look, Will Smith, we know he hung his hat on his defense, and when they brought it up, look, Russell Martin said after the game, a catcher is only as good as his pitcher. So these pitchers, they need to get it together for Will Smith, because bottom line, we need Will Smith's offense. Yes, Will Smith right now is doing his best Austin Barnes impression at the plate as a batter, but I have confidence that he can turn around. Still has got hit safely in 22 of his first 36 major league games. But if you look at Hyun-Jin Ryu, that to me was the story of the weekend. 7 scoreless innings for Hyun-Jin Ryu after 4 clunkers, 4 rough starts by Hyun-Jin Ryu, and then he does it on the road. To me, he does it on the road against a desperate Mets team that is playing for their playoff lives, and to me, that was big. Charles, big friend of the show, he mentions, yes, it might be something with Martin. Look, I know pitchers, they're creatures of habit, and Ryu, to me, look, he looked fresh yesterday. He looked like that changeup was back to where he was commanding it. If you look at Ryu had made 18 starts with Russell Martin as a catcher. His ERA in those games was a 1.7. In his 5 starts with Will Smith, his ERA a 5.81. So look, whether that is familiarity, the comfortability with Russell Martin, that's something to be said. Well, should the Dodgers get to the World Series, should they get to far deep in the playoffs, I think that's a conversation you have with Hyun-Jin Ryu, because look, if he was willing to go out on a limb and say that I pitch better with Russell Martin behind the plate, you got to listen to what your guy says, because look, to me, one of the big takeaways from the weekend was that Hyun-Jin Ryu, to me, now is back in it for the Cy Young Award. To me, he solidifies himself as the front runner again, passing DeGrom. I know that DeGrom has him on WAR, but now that ERA, he's got about 3 starts left. That ERA now down to 2.35. That K through 9 is at 7.98. And if you look at it, Hyun-Jin Ryu, I'm telling you, a couple more strong outings, and he's right back in the thick of it to win the Dodgers' 13th Cy Young in franchise history. I know some of you, you're into individual awards, some of you not so much. To me, with the heritage and the rich history of Dodger arms, to me, I'm very excited about the potential of him beating out Jacob deGrom. Jacob deGrom obviously has him on strikeouts, 11.4 Ks per nine, and he also has those gaudy strikeout numbers. But Hyun-Jin Ryu does it off soft contact, does it off locating that changeup, and when he's on, this guy is one of the most precise pitchers in Major League Baseball, and you saw that on display yesterday. So to me, that was the biggest win again in the weekend, is seeing that Hyun-Jin Ryu is throwing out ace-level stuff. So you got to love that. And the Dodgers now 97-54, 20.5 game lead in the division. That just makes you mash that heart button. Give me some hearts. Give me some retweets for that one, because that is just dominance over this NL West. Some of you want to question the quality of the NL West, but they're right in it to make a run at their all-time margin of victory. So you love that. You concerned about Belly at all? Doug Crosby. I'm definitely concerned about Cody Bellinger. If you just look to one of my favorite tweets by AJ Gonzalez talking about when he swings and misses, looking like he's at an 8th grade dance or something like that. The swing and misses today, they look awkward. They look like he's not. I mean, he's just missing a lot of fastballs, and he's missing a lot of pitches that he was hitting earlier in the year. Now, Cody Bellinger, they need to get him. I was hoping, and by the way, the Christian Yelich injury broke my heart. I don't like to see any hitters or any big-time players get injured in any capacity, but I thought that with the Yelly versus Belly MVP race, don't worry, Ronald Acuna and Anthony Rendon, who we might talk about in a little bit here, they're definitely in the thick of it. But I thought with Bellinger basically having that solidified and cemented, that would take some of the pressure off Cody Bellinger. But really, he's struggled. Cody Bellinger has definitely struggled, and they need to get him right. Since the All-Star, I mean, he was hitting 336 since the in the All-Star break. And he's just having bad bat after bad at bat. If you look at his career against Zach Wheeler, he was 4 of 8 against Wheeler, 4 home runs. And the swing and miss and the top of the 6 was just not great for Cody Bellinger in his progress. Let's check out his numbers, how he's been doing of late. So if you look at Cody Bellinger, he is since – I'm going to get up his stats here. But, yeah, Cody Bellinger definitely been struggling of late. Still hitting for power. Still has 44 home runs. But they're definitely going to need to get him right. Because, look, he struggled. He struggled in the World Series 2 years in a row. And I thought that, hey, that is one of the things that gave me hope, was that Cody Bellinger was going to get right and give the Dodgers that MVP caliber player in the middle of that lineup that can have them slug their way to a World Series title. But back to the comments here. Mike, Mets going to win. You'll see it. They're going to win what? They're going to win a game. They're going to win the wild card. Be a little more specific there. I think they're going to have trouble getting into the playoffs the way the Cubs are playing right now, and also them overcoming the Washington Nationals. But Ed Jackson, Russell should catch Ryu. Cy is big, and so is winning. I'm with you, too. I'm all about it. Eric Burr, this series was a test for the Dodgers, and they passed. Yes, absolutely. That was playoff intensity. That was a team. The Dodgers, they wrapped up their division. The Dodgers, they took care of business in Baltimore, and they were playing a Mets team that was hungry, that was desperate, and the Dodgers took 2 of 3. Yesterday, they were atrocious with runners in scoring position yesterday. They had a chance to get it done yesterday. Unfortunately, Julio Urias, a couple borderline strike calls, I think, could have got the Dodgers out of that one, but they didn't get it done yesterday. But they could have easily taken 3 against a desperate Mets team and against 3 of the most quality pitchers in Major League Baseball. Definitely some of the ones that have the best stuff in Major League Baseball. Cody will turn around Charles Hamble. That's another thing, too. So another thing, too, about that is Cody Bellinger has a chance to peak at the right time. He can get hot. Cody Bellinger can get hot, and he can get scorching hot. He just needs to start taking his walks again, needs to start look, if you saw tonight, one of the problems, shortening up that swing and taking what the pitcher is giving, that is a major thing for Cody Bellinger. That average now down to 304. Last 7 games, he's hitting 231, slashing 231, 333, slugging 231. So the thing with Cody Bellinger, post the All-Star break, yes, that average has dipped, but one thing he was able to continue to do was slug and hit for power and hit a home run with this hit those jacks. But last 7, no home runs for Cody Bellinger. Last 15, 2 home runs for Cody Bellinger, slugging 442. So we know defensively he's elite. Defensively, UZ score, defensive run save. To me, if you want to talk about MVP race, he has enough on his resume to close out on that. But more importantly for this team is getting him playing his best baseball come October. So that is something that the Dodgers are going to have to focus on and prioritize as we get closer with 11 games left to play. We need to get him hot. Jerko was a steal from Michael. Leah, we never know with the Met in the wild card or the D-back. Look, the wild card, Mets are going, I like that, Charles. Mets aren't going anywhere except vacation in October. Look, the wild card, I'm not shunning the wild card. We know what it's been able to do. 2011 Cardinals. We saw 2014 Giants. You saw 2002 Angels. The wild card, the 97 Marlins, the 2003 Marlins. I'm not saying you can't win a title, but to me, this is a little different era of baseball where the juggernauts have gotten so top-heavy. The depth of the Dodgers, you saw it on display today with Jed Jerko. So Wheeler pitched well from Mike Boise. We got, why have the home runs dried up? Well, if you look at the home runs, the Dodgers still, when it comes to home runs, they are tops in the National League. They just passed the 2000 Astros, so they can still slug. But look, they've gone just a little cold last couple games, and look, this could be a good thing in the long run to see the Dodgers win games without hitting the long ball. But look, hey, the Dodgers don't win it on Friday without a home run from Gavin Lux. So they still won Friday's game because of the home run. Their record when they hit a home run is a very gaudy number. So if you look at it from that standpoint, the home run is essential. And if you look at the top 4 records, the top 4 best records in Major League Baseball, Yankees, Twins, Astros, Dodgers, the best teams in Major League Baseball are also the teams that are hitting the most home runs. So you definitely need that element in your arsenal if you want to win come October. And the Dodgers do have that. But they also have to get Max Muncy playing much better. His average has dipped quite a bit. Those strikeouts are starting to go up for Max Muncy. Let's take it here. Who do you guys have for your player of the game today, by the way? I think I'm going to go with Jed Jerko. Absolutely. I'm going with Jed Jerko. I thought, Walker Buehler gave up 2 runs early in this one, but he was, he struck out. And the thing about Walker Buehler tonight, wasn't his best showing. It wasn't his best showing for Walker Buehler tonight, but he definitely got the job done. Once he started to settle down, he retired 11 straight. And if you look at Walker Buehler, another thing to keep an eye on is how will he play on the road? How will he pitch outside of Dodger Stadium? At home this year, he's 6-0 with an ERA of 2.64. On the road, ERA of 3.67, and he's 7-3. So not his best on the road, but almost a run more than when he pitches at home. But after that triple that he gave, that triple to Nemo and Robinson Cano, J.D. Davis scored on that one. After that, it was a nice performance. The thing about Walker Buehler, they got that pitch count way up. 43 pitches in the first 2 innings, and then also not very many punch-outs. He said it himself. This is a quote from Walker Buehler. Punch-outs, that's sort of my thing for Ferris. You know what I'm talking about, the Beal dog. And only 1 punch-out, but that stuff was there. You saw 100-mile-per-hour fastball. He's a guy that's starting to really hone that and refine his stuff as we get closer to the postseason too. So here we go. We got Kenley was impressive in the 8th from Stoney Salazar. We got SD Dodger. What up, SD Dodger? Leaving downtown Disney. Great effort by the bullpen. We've talked about it tonight. The bullpen really showed up, and that's the thing. And who did show up for the bullpen? One guy that did it, Kenta Maeda, Kenley Jansen. You got Pedro Baez. Pedro Baez, who, yes, guys, the movement for Pedro Baez to get a bobblehead is still a big-time necessity. I want to see a Pedro Baez bobblehead. I mean, we have a Dia de los Muertos one. Can we get at least a Pedro Baez one? And look, Pedro Baez, one of the unsung heroes, doesn't get enough credit. Pedro Baez has been a rock for this Dodger bullpen, and a bullpen that's had more ups and downs than the roller coasters in Disneyland. And tonight we saw that. And the thing, too, is you saw Kenta Maeda. Kenta Maeda came in there, and he sealed the deal. And that is one of the remaining questions. What will the Dodgers do in the absence of Rich Hill? If Rich Hill, we saw that he's going to try to compensate with the way he uses his knee to not utilize his MCL. But if Rich Hill is out, does Kenta Maeda go into that fourth starter role? Do they use who's your fourth starter? I'm going to ask you guys out there. Who is your fourth starter if Kenta Maeda, if Rich Hill is unable to go? To me, it's a long shot at this point. He's tried, and by the way, man, this guy has done everything in his power to get right for this team. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to be 100%, but I'm praying for it. I'm praying to the baseball gods every chance I get because Rich Hill deserves to be heard from once again in the postseason. But who do you guys go with as that fourth starter? Do you go with the bullpen game? Do you go Tony Gonsolin? Do you throw in Kenta Maeda? You know they have plans for Kenta Maeda to throw him out there. Righty specialist with that slider, also extended relief. So that's another thing. Another thing, too, if you go to Dodgers Nation, check out the piece on the improvement, the sneaky, quiet improvement from Caleb Ferguson. So Caleb Ferguson's a guy who started to put it together and could definitely make a run at it. Kenta is good out of the pen from Joshua. Jack Ramirez, Julio. Julio. I mean, Julio, too. The thing about Julio, past four, Julio Urias, a 3.66 ERA as a starter and only 123 innings. So 8 starts this season for Julio Urias, a 3.26 ERA, but only in 30 1/3 innings. So a smaller sample size from Julio Urias, but I'm with you. I think that he's got some of the best stuff. When he comes in, he's focused. I was watching Julio as a 20-year-old the other night against the Nationals when he came out in Game 5. He pitched well in Milwaukee last year. He's a guy with that heart rate that just stays nice and poised. This guy is a guy, when the pressure starts cooking, Julio Urias is not going to back down. So that's another thing that I would consider, and I definitely think that Julio Urias deserves some consideration. But then you take away a major asset from that bullpen, and having him in there and with his ability to go multiple innings, 2, 3 innings, also can give you a save or two. So he's a very, very useful piece to our potential success in the World Series. So it's a major question. Randall, Etheridge, Gonsolin should be the fourth starter. Eric Berta, Julio should be the fourth starter. Rommel Nago Kolarek is steady in getting out lefties. He's a lefty specialist. I think that Kolarek has given up 1 run in his last 15 appearances. So he had a rocky start. I think his first start appearance was, I think it was in that Yankee series, right? But yeah, I think Tony Gonsolin's a guy. If you look at Tony Gonsolin, if you look at him, he started 6 games this season. He's pitching, his ERA is 2.89 in 28 innings, and in those starts, he's held batters to a slash line of 192, 261, and 346. So Tony Gonsolin, you know I love me some Tony Gonsolin, Mr. Cat, the Catman himself. So I think that he's a likely a potential candidate too. Also, you got to love his stuff. You got to love that splitter. You got to love the velocity on his fastball. But that's the same thing too. It's the same situation. You kind of have to pick your poison. Who do you feel more comfortable as a starter or versus someone that you can bring out of the pen and have that luxury? So Joshua, bullpen is looking a lot better. The bullpen has definitely stepped its game up, but if you look at it, though, yesterday, 3 pitchers combined to record 3 outs. 3 runs were surrendered with 2 hit batters. So, by the way, 3 hit batters by the Dodgers in 2 days. So, if you look at it, that's the thing. And then Joe Kelly, unfortunately for Joe Kelly, Joe Kelly, he goes in. It's his third appearance in 4 days, and he goes in there. He gives up that hit. And then Julio Urias, he hit a batter. He walked a batter, lowered the bases, and gave up that game-winning pinch hit double. So not the best day for the bullpen yesterday, but today they definitely get it done. And if you look at, too, the bullpen, its ERA is second best in Major League Baseball. Since June 1st, in Major League Baseball, the Dodgers have the second best ERA at 3.5. So there's definitely some uptick. It's trending upwards, but if you look at it though, it's the home run ball, it's the leaving runners stranded. So that's the thing too. If you look at it, in LA, the Dodger bullpen, 23 losses on the season. That's tied for second worst. So in strand percentage. So that's the thing too. 39% strand rate for the Dodgers. So they have improved, but if you do a deep dive into the metrics around the Dodger bullpen, there still are areas that they need to clean up. It's stranding runners. It's also giving up bombs. Guys like Kenley, guys like Yimi Garcia, but Joe Kelly, I think it was a little tough on him. A lot of people are calling out Dave Roberts on that one. To me, I think Dave Roberts has said, hey, when it comes to home field advantage, they're not going to break their back for it or something like that, where they're talking about how important is home field advantage. And I think Dave Roberts says, hey, we have a couple weeks left. We have 11 games left. I want to see how Julio Urias fares in this situation. That Mets crowd was electric. And then also Joe Kelly. So it's starting to feel a lot like the postseason, and Dave Roberts is getting guys in spots to experience that. So Randall, when is Justin Turner getting back in the lineup? His ankle still has him sidelined. Should be next week. We got Charles. Urias is a relief pitcher, in my opinion. Just doesn't have the stamina for a starter. That's interesting. I still think that eventually he profiles as a top 3 starter on a contending team. He has the stuff, he has the command, and I think he can be built up to be a starter. To me, there's no question about that. Have a little sore throat, guys, my bad. Tito, Dodgers don't have home field advantage against AL team. Problem. Good question. So the thing, too, there's a couple things to consider there. So the Dodgers, 2017, they had home field advantage against the AL team, lost it at home in 7. Dodgers didn't have home field advantage last year against the Red Sox. They lost it in 5. So when you look at it, when it comes to home field advantage, teams that have home field advantage are 59 and 59 for their last 24 in Game 1. So you do win Game 1. In home field advantage, there's definitely an uptick when it gets further along in the series. But also some things to consider too is the Dodgers are going to have to win on the road regardless. And if it's the Astros, if it's the Yankees, Dodgers are going to have to prove they can win some games on the road. Also, with this lineup and the Dodgers needing offense, look, they're going to have some DH possibilities. But I think that my fear is to have the Yankees have home field advantage. Because look what the Yankees did against the Dodgers. They hit 9 home runs. They hit 9 home runs against the Dodgers, and in 3 games at the Chavez Ravine. Imagine what they can do with 4 potential games at home. So they'll turn that into the Bronx Bombers could tee off at home where their home run rate is up. So that's something to consider if you're the Dodgers. So I don't think that's the end-all, be-all. Look, the Dodgers, they went on the road last year to win Game 7, but the odds will tell you your chances at home, a team that has won 56 home games, a team that their starters pitch much better home. Clayton Kershaw and Hyun-Jin Ryu, I do think if it's within reach, you definitely have to make a run at it because then you leave no stone unturned. That means this Dodger team is going in there knowing that, hey, we've done everything in our power. I know everyone wants to say, hey, it's a crapshoot, the Major League Baseball playoffs, but if you get home field advantage, you put yourself in a position to have games 6 and 7 at home. And to me, that's what I want to do because also I want to celebrate at home at the Chavez Ravine. But what do you guys think? Do you think the Dodgers can go on the road? Look, they did it. They did it in 1981, and they also did it in They did it in 1981. They also did it in their 3 World Series that they won against the Yankees. They all didn't have home field advantage. Also, the Dodgers are going to try to be the 3rd team to make it to the World Series after 2 consecutive World Series losses, and that was those Yankees in the early 20s. The Yankees, they ended up winning on the 3rd time. So I think there's a lot of things that are trending in the Dodgers' favor. Charles Hamel sprained ankle. Not too long, I think. Kamen, honestly, not a good game at all. Got lucky with those pitching mistakes in the 8th. Marion Martinez, where we got way to go Kenta and way to go Dodgers. Yeah, Kenta Maeda came in there. First at batter wasn't throwing strikes, but he got he closes it out 2/3 innings for Kenta Maeda, and you gotta love that. But here we go. We got Samuel, the Twins, Indians, even the A's are not going to be a cupcake in the playoffs. Melissa, so glad our boys have home field advantage in the NLDS. Already bought my tickets. Let's go, Dodgers. I love it. Got your tickets from Melissa Thompson. Hey, you're going to have a blast. I think you're going to be hearing a lot of Randy Newman's I Love LA because the Dodgers are going to probably come in there and win that series regardless of who their opponent is. We know they're probably going to burn one. They're probably going to burn a starter in that wild card game, but here we go. But yeah, David Freese just didn't play. He just didn't play, and who knows? They're probably just playing the slow game with David Freese. You know he's dealt with that tendonitis in his knees. You know he's had some injury concerns. And look, of course, David Freese in that pinch hit situation. You know he's a better hitter than Kike tonight. But hey, David Freese doesn't get the call, and but he was available. He was definitely available. But here we go. We already got home field advantage in the NLDS. No. But look, the Dodgers, they're trending that way. The Dodgers come home. They're facing off with the Rays next week, and a lot of division opponents to close things out. I hope we got down, ready to lose again Dodgers in the playoffs. Cool story, bro. Coming to troll. Julio, 4-starter from Eric. Schmo, is this team able to compete against the AL? I'm not feeling good about it. That's from Schmo. In my opinion, look, when the Dodgers play you don't take too much from regular season matchups. We saw what happened in the Yankees series. We also saw what happened in the Red Sox series on the road. To me, this team most definitely can compete with an AL juggernaut like the Yankees, like the Astros. And to me, it's potentially a coin flip. Of course, it's a coin flip. But to me, if everything goes right for the Dodgers and they catch fire at the right time, and you get pitching contributions and that bullpen holds up, to me it comes down to starting pitching. Can the starting pitching replicate what it did in the regular season in the postseason? If they can do that, and guys like Kenley Jansen return to form, Julio Urias, Tony Gonsolin, and there's some stability, and then Joe Kelly catches fire like he did last year, to me I have complete confidence that this could culminate in a World Series. You have to believe it out there because, look, this Yankee team, yes, they have power. Yes, they have slugging power. They're not going to be an easy team to overcome. But the Dodgers, they're averaging 5.4 runs per game. 5.4 runs per game on the year, giving up 3.8 per year. The thing about the Dodgers, though, is their ability to hit high-velocity pitching. Can they put up runs against that Yankee pitching staff? I think they can. They don't have starters that are going to blow you away. And if you're the Astros, I'm not afraid of Greinke. And then also you got Justin Verlander, and then you got guys like Garrett Cole. So definitely the Dodgers really need to get a lineup together that is proven to we need Turner back. We need Alex Verdugo back, hopefully by that NLCS. But what do you guys think? Do you like the Dodgers' chances against an AL juggernaut? To me, the depth of the Dodgers, Corey Seager, A.J. Pollock, Cody Bellinger, there's a lot of ifs there, no question about it. But it's going to come down to the offense. The pitching, to me, is going to be there for this Dodger team. I love what I saw at Hyun-Jin Ryu. I think Clayton Kershaw, especially at home, can give you a quality start. And then Walker Buehler has the potential to be the best starting pitcher in both dugouts. So when you have that on your side, it really just comes down to, can the offense start to produce runs and start to catch fire? Because really, look, the Dodgers 12 and 11 since the Yankees series, and it remains to be seen. Will they be able to bring those bats in the playoffs? We saw they hit just over 200 against the Red Sox last year, and then against the Astros, it was something like 227. So we'll see. It's going to be a major question mark as we lead to the postseason. Can the Dodgers beat an AL juggernaut? Who do you think the Dodgers match up best against? Do you think it's the Yankees, Astros? If you had to pick the Dodgers' opponent in the World Series, who would you pick? Let me know in the comments. Me, I want to see the Yankees because I think, yes, the Yankees, their penchant for going deep is definitely concerning, but I think the Dodgers offensively can get to that pitching staff. And I do think that that was really more of an aberration what we saw early in the year. We got Elm Street. Kike Hernandez is terrible. Not a big Kike fan. Is Elm Street? 1 second here. Let me get a drink. Not a sponsor of the show, but if you do want to sponsor the show, we're looking for sponsors right now for the postseason. So come holler at us. Big numbers on the Dodgers Nation postgame show. Also, remember, go to DodgersNation.com for all the best Dodgers content. Go get merched up for the playoffs. This is my favorite tee. This is our logo, Dodgers Nation. Our gear is sweet. Go get you some T-shirts. But here we go. I agree. What would you guys do to get Belly right? Would you give him some time off? I think that Bellinger has said, hey, the difference between this year and last year is I can make adjustments during a game. And in the previous season, it was about making adjustments after games, in between games. But Bellinger, clearly, something is not right with Cody Bellinger. He's just not been able to hit consistently, and that average is just dipping. Now it's down to 305. He's got to hold on for the final 11 games if he wants to bat over 300. We got Joshua in 17 in the Verlander game. CT3 took him deep in the first at bat. Verlander doesn't scare us. Yeah, CT3 first pitch. I remember that. Boom. No, wait. No, that was against Dallas Keuchel. But no, did he? Yeah. No, CT3 took Dallas Keuchel, I think, deep on the first at bat. But did he take him deep in game two? Because Verlander pitched game two. Joey Flores, what do you think? Dave Roberts doesn't give Bellinger more days off. Is he overworked? In my opinion, if he were to sit out a few games, he's going to get the urge to play, and his talent will naturally bloom. That's from Joey Flores. I think that you could be onto something. We saw the benefit of having Ryu skip a start. Ryu first started in 10 days, and he looked more fresh. He looked like he was re-energized. And Cody Bellinger, maybe you sit him for 2-3 days, and you allow him to get into the workshop to study tape to find out why he's not raking like he was earlier in the year. Because we're going to need Cody Bellinger. We can't have Cody Bellinger hitting 240 throughout the postseason and expect this Dodger team to win a World Series. He's going to be counted on to get big-time home runs, to get big-time RBIs, and carry the core of this Dodger offense. Him and Justin Turner are going to have to be big for this Dodger team if we want any chance of going deep into the postseason. And Cody Bellinger, like I said, 231, still has 44 home runs, 108 RBIs, and he's still OPSing over 1,000, but yeah, you're totally right. We got to find. I would not be opposed to having Cody Bellinger sit a couple of games just to get right. But look, also you got guys like. But don't forget, look, when it comes to the postseason, who do you guys think should be towards the tail end of that roster if Verdugo can't make it? I think Matt Beatty, to me, a no-brainer. You saw hitting over 400 with runners in scoring position. He's hitting 288 on the year, 9 home runs and 46 RBIs. Also, he's versatile. You can play him in the infield and the outfield. I want to see Matt Beatty in there if Alex Verdugo is out. We got Alex. Watch the game on ESPN on mute most of the game. They're horrible. But I think Alex is, man, that sound anytime the ball just touches the bat sounds like an explosion from a World War II dog or something like that. But, yeah, it was. And then Alex Rodriguez, the Dodgers, I don't know, he kind of says Dodgers funny to me. But, hey, man, they're doing their best, I guess. But I'm not a huge fan. I actually listened to it on the radio. I listened to Tune. I listened to Neverett and Rick Monday today. So not a huge fan of the ESPN. I used to like Jim Miller back in the day when he did it. But, Daya, I agree, Alex. We got Jason. Yeah, it was against Keiko. Yeah. Eric, Sager took Verlander deep. Yeah, Sager took Verlander deep. And that's when, he dropped it, put the hands up. That was in the fourth or fifth inning. But, yeah, Sager took him deep. Wow, that game. I've actually blacked out a lot of that game in my mind just because of how painful it is. But, yeah, I do remember it now. And then Marwin Gonzalez hit that home run. Let's not relive that. That was one of the darkest days in recent Dodger history, to say the least. If Verdugo isn't available for sure, Matt Beatty, Charles Hamill, I think that we're in consensus there. Kathy, well said on Bellinger, agreed. I think that I fully believe that Cody Bellinger is more of the guy we saw pre-All-Star break. Pre-All-Star break, Cody Bellinger hitting .336, and then it started to slide since then. So, look, I think that it could turn around for Cody Bellinger. I want to see him get 6 more home runs, make it to 50, pass Sean Green's 39 home runs, and I definitely feel that. But the Dodgers, give them a lot of credit. This team, we lose sight of the fact that we're 97-54. And tonight, the 44th comeback win of the year. One of the things about this team is the comeback wins, it's the walk-off wins, it's the average has improved significantly with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Yes, they've reverted some bad habits tonight in the last couple games, but that is something the Dodgers have shown that they've improved upon, and that this Dodger team, look, they got a couple weeks left. It's about finishing strong. It's about finding who are going to be the guys in the bullpen, in the lineup. They're going to carry this team throughout the playoffs. So they have a lot to play for last 11 games. And the Yankees and the Astros vying for home field advantage, holding off the Braves. I think they're 3.5, 4 games up on the Braves right now. So that's definitely a major factor. So, but don't lose sight of the fact this team is one for the ages. This is definitely one for the ages. If you look at it, the 53 Dodger team, the 53 Dodger team who lost. That team was crazy. That team won 105 games in a 154 game season. That would have been 110 wins in a 162 game season. But this team definitely on pace, go well over 100 wins and take some momentum into the playoffs. So my whole thing, tonight's game, couple recaps too. Walker Buehler did not have his best stuff. The only thing about Walker Buehler tonight was he only had 1 strikeout. If you look at Walker Buehler, most strikeouts on fastballs this year, Flaherty has 108, Walker Buehler 104. So you want to see him miss bats with his fastball because that's when he's at his best. But he still retired 11 straight batters. The bullpen did their thing. Dustin May, give Dustin May credit. He battled out there, showed more command on his stuff, and then give a lot of credit. When it comes to the Mets, you always want to beat the Mets. I have that bitter feeling still from 2006. If you remember in 2006, J.D. Drew and Jeff Kent. Oh, I'll never forget that. But they have owned them of late. And now the Dodgers, this team is historical. This team is making history. They're going to win this division by 19-plus games, maybe even 20-plus games. And the record for most wins in a division, it was the 1955 Dodgers. They won the division by 15.5 games. The boys in blue won that by 15.5 games. And they went on to do what? That's when the Boys of Summer went on to win the World Series. So definitely a good positive omen for this Dodger team. A lot of stuff pointing to that division. And then that 1953 team I was talking about, they won the division by 13 games that year. Back to you guys. Bullpen was present today from Daya Velasquez. Will Smith has been bad from Roger Alexander Aguilar. yeah, Will Smith, make no secret about it. He has had his struggles of late. Will Smith, if you look at it, last seven, we're talking 15 at bats for Will Smith. He's batting 67, 0.67, OPSing 192. So I don't know if he's doing his best Austin Barnes impression. Maybe having Austin Barnes back up there, maybe he's making him feel uncomfortable. I don't know, but look, the Will Smith, all the hype and jubilation about the Fresh Prince, he needs to bring it back. He needs to start finding a groove because, look, to me, that was one of the missing pieces, was saying, hey, there's not going to be an automatic out. And, look, he's a guy they were putting third in the lineup. When have we ever seen them put Austin Barnes third in the lineup? And we needed him to be an asset. We needed to come out there and slug. So Will Smith, 67, he's a guy who needs to get it right. Last 30 for Will Smith, we're talking about he's hitting a $162. He's slashing 162, 219 and 294, OPSing 513, and Will Smith three home runs in his last 68 at bat. So you saw Will Smith, he caught fire early on, and then there's the adjustment period where now it looks like Gavin Lux is the other way around. Yes, he went 2 for 5 in his first game, and then he had a hit in his second game, but then he was riding like an 0 for 18 slump, and now Gavin Lux is the hot hitter. So Gavin Lux started slower and caught fire a little differently. If you look at Gavin Lux, last 7 for Gavin Lux, he's hitting 400, two doubles, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, OPSing 1,200 for Gavin Lux. So you got to love that. By the way, Austin Barnes, a 1,600 OPS. Of course, that's only 2 at-bats in the last 7. But here we go. Does Lux make the playoff roster? I think every game counts down the stretch. And Gavin Lux, it looked like for a minute there that this was all about just observing, just trying to absorb the Dodger culture, see how the pros do it, see how veterans like David Freese and Justin Turner do it. Now, look, with that swing and his effortless swing, the way his hands can get through the zone, the way he can get contact, to me, I think you take a hard look at adding Gavin Lux to this playoff roster. I think there's no question about it because in the past, it's been the droughts. And not only just the droughts of not getting hits, but the droughts of not putting the bat on the ball in key situations, shortening up that swing. And I think Gavin Lux has that in his bag. So, to me, kind of have to crunch the numbers on it. But Gavin Lux is a guy also, I mean, you just want to see Gavin Lux. You don't want to spoil that kind of talent. Look what Cabrera did for the Marlins when he got out there. If guys are ready to play, there's not a lot of tape out on guys. Look, Dodgers have had 3 minor league players of the year in their history. Mike Marshall in 1981, Paul Konerko in 1997, Gavin Lux this year. He's a special talent, and if he's out there, we'll see how the next couple weeks unfold for Gavin Lux, but he's starting to look very comfortable out there after getting that home run against Baltimore, after that home run against the New York Mets. I'm telling you, Gavin Lux is a guy you got to take a hard look at. Elm Street, Will Smith isn't trying hard enough behind the plate. I see no effort. I don't think that. I think his demeanor kind of points to that. He's not the rah-rah, intense guy that Austin Barnes is. And he doesn't have the credibility that Russell Martin has, where he's a seasoned vet that's been in this league for quite some time. I've heard some things about his hand size, that they had trouble seeing his hands. That's why they put the tape on there. That's why they were shaking him off a little bit. But look, that's a major part of being a receiver, about being a catcher, is developing that rapport with pitchers. And I don't think it's an effort thing. I don't think it's a lack of effort for Will Smith. I think that, look, he stepped onto the scene so strong and impressed us so much early on that we said, hey, this is Will Smith. This is a guy that is just going to hit over 300 and go and crank home runs while playing elite defense. Now, another thing to consider, too, is definitely he has the strongest arm out of Austin Barnes and Russell Martin. Not on the pitching mound. I would say on the pitching mound, we know, though, that goes to Russell Martin. But Alex V, offense is still cold. Kelly looking better, though. Look, the offense, if you look at it, the offense, 5.4 runs on the year. They scored 9 runs 9 runs the other day, and 7 runs in the win against where they clinched. So they're still putting up points, but it's not top to bottom. A lot of guys are last 7. Jock Peterson's cooled off. He's down to 250. Look, I didn't need to tell you that Jock Peterson is a streaky hitter, but he's back to being streaky. Jock Peterson last 7, 20 at bats, 5 for his last 20. Still playing better. A nice double tonight for Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson had a nice double tonight. Then you got Kike Hernandez. Kike Hernandez, who had been one of the only hot hitters when everyone was struggling a couple weeks ago. He's hitting 200 in his last 7, 3 for his last 15. You got Chris Taylor down to 176 in his last 7. He's 3 for his last 17. So, by the way, but big hit tonight. Chris Taylor came through in the clutch tonight. So these guys, trust me, they are going to ignite. They are going to feel the playoffs approaching, and this team knows, hey, this team does not want to be the Buffalo Bills of Major League Baseball. They understand. They hear all the noise. They hear from you guys. They hear from fans all around the world. They hear from pundits. They don't want to be that team that punches their ticket to the Fall Classic and doesn't raise that commissioner's trophy, because that is of the utmost importance right now, and the pressure that this team has. If this team can't focus knowing that, then this team isn't a World Series caliber team. But I know deep down inside that this team wants it as bad as anyone, that they're going to put in the work, and then I truly believe this is going to culminate in a World Series title, and then we're all going to be popping champagne down Figueroa for your Dodgers. But here we go. We got Alex V. Offenses. Oh, we got Samuel. Man, my throat is killing me. 1 second. All right. Alex V. Samuel, Dodgers win 2-1 their series against the Mets, while the Yankees lose 2-1 their series to the Blue Jays. I saw that. Blue Jays, God, by the way, that is the team of the future right there with Bo Bichette. My girlfriend doesn't like it for some reason, but yes, I'm with you on that. And that was a tie one. It was a 5-5 game. They lost in extra innings. And the Dodgers, look, this is Major League Baseball. Sometimes, the Dodgers drop one to the Baltimore Orioles. You win what does Tommy Lasorda say? You win 60, you lose 60. It's what you do with the rest of the games that count. Want to get a comment by Charles Hamill, though. Well, I lost out before the season, calling what our record would be. I had us at 96 and 66. You had us at 96 and 66. I had us at 103. I had us at 103. That looks like it's still in play. But here, back to you guys. Guys watching football all day. I saw Dodgers Nation tweeted, who's your football team? Who is your football team? Let me know in the comments. Here we go. I think Will Smith will have a chance from Mara O'Brien, Charles Hamill, Eric Barrow. Will Smith is our best option at catcher. Exactly. I've said he is. The net benefits of him and the best version of Will Smith give this team an extra slugger. Give this team an extra weapon in that bottom third of the lineup. And you saw, man, Yasmani Grandal, he just was absolute trash, okay? He was. I know that's a little rough, but he was trash. Austin Barnes, even when Austin Barnes is at his best, you're looking at, maybe 267, but not a lot of pop. But give Austin Barnes credit for making it back in here. Eric Bet, we got Samuel Sandgate. We got the Indians came in, took 2-4 to the Yankee Stadium about a month ago. Yeah, exactly. And the Indians are a team too. The AL at the top is pretty tough. So the Rams for Victor, Fabian, the Raiders. You saw Mahomes went crazy. Scott, the Cardinals. At least look at all you guys with your got Rams Nation. Whose house in the building. But, yep, guys, closing in on the 1 hour mark here, though. Couple final thoughts. Get those final hot Dodger takes in there. Do you guys think that what we saw from Kenley Jansen tonight was lasting? Is this a fluke, or is this the Kenley Jansen? You saw 95 on the gun. You saw him locating. You saw the cut on the cutter was definitely better than we've seen in months. That was probably the best we've seen Kenley Jansen and the best inning that we've seen out of him in quite some time. So do you guys think that this is lasting? Do you think that he's figured something out? We saw that he was talking about implementing his legs more and trying to get the velocity back with the mechanics of his legs. You saw the percentage of his cutter down. So what do you guys feel about that? Oh, whoops. There we go. Oh, Sergio, party in Mexico. What up? What up? There we go. Tonight, that's the Kenley we need. Yeah. Here we go. We got Elm Street. Oh, yeah. The Dodgers are off tomorrow. So a little getaway day. Dodgers take on the Rays, 7:10 at Dodger Stadium. Eric Berta, the Dodgers over Yankees in 7 with Kershaw recording the final out of the bullpen. Something reminiscent of the NLDS against the Nationals. That'd be great. Deborah, keep Kenley. Alex, Kenley looking good. Got to be the ponytail. Hey, you changed things up. I saw he was rocking those Jordan 1s. Maybe that was a factor. But to me, this team still is a work in progress. A lot to be worked out. I think Kenley Jansen, though, if you look at it, still it's still a refining of his craft. It's about, if you look at that opponent average at 267, he needs to get that down. That's since June 26th, a 4.80 ERA. So I think Kenley Jansen just needs some confidence, and he needs that. He needs to show that he can do it, because, look, I'm telling you, every start, every appearance he gets in the postseason is going to be touch and go. He's got to earn each and every appearance. And but that is going to bring us to just another quick reminder, definitely check us out Tuesday. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. All news related to the Dodgers Nation post-game show you'll find right over there. But also, big reminder, head over to DodgersNation.com right now. A lot of great pieces up. All the great writers, Daniel Preciado, Clint Evans, Blake Williams. He rocked with us a little earlier. SD Dodger, Tim Rogers, Clint Pasillas, and Brooke Smith on the Dodgers Blue Heaven podcast on Thursday. So check out for all the great Dodger content. But that is going to do it for this edition of the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Dodgers, they get the win against the Mets. Now the Dodgers record 97-54, come from behind, 44th time of the year, 20 and a half games up in the division. Dodgers get it done. But thanks for checking us out. Thanks for rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. We're going to be back again. On Tuesday right after the Rays game. So I want to see you guys then. Thanks again. Have a great rest of your night, and I'm out.